Hey guys, meteorologist Doug Hetty. It is Friday, January 3rd. I hope you've had a great work week. You probably had a short work week, but we have a winter storm, which is moving into the Central Plains this weekend. Weather 2020 video. Of course, I usually do mid and long range forecasting, but we also do short range forecasting, and I usually cover the entire state of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. So 4-state weather. But we're going to dig into this winter storm that is going to be pushing through the Central Plains, or at least winter storm for some of us. I'll also be in at KOAM News tonight, 5, 6, 9, and 10 for the local 4-state area. Huge shout out to my boys, Superior Roofing and Construction, a 4-state premier roofing contractor. They're local to Joplin, Missouri, but they service all of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. I went to the Human Bean. I got a 34-ounce espresso with 6 shots, so I figured I better knock out a video before my hands are shaking like crazy. All right, so let's dig in. Let's get to it. First off, in this, oh gosh, what color is this? Purplish color, so out toward Dodge City. This is a winter weather advisory for lower amounts of snow. And then you got a winter storm warning for Hays, Kansas, and then all this blue is a winter storm watch, which will go over to a winter storm warning. So this includes Wichita, Salina, Emporia, Topeka, Kansas City, St. Joe, Columbia, Jeff City. Does include Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada as well. So, and this extends all the way east toward St. Louis. As of right now, not a whole bunch is going on, but you can see our storm system developing out across the Pacific Northwest, and it's barreling toward us as we go through the next 24 hours. Let me take you through time. This afternoon, not bad, just chilly. 33 Kansas City, Coffeyville, 41, 48 Oak City, 50 in Little Rock. Clouds increase tonight. And this is when it starts to get a little interesting. You can see a little bit of pink popping up toward Wichita, a little bit of green popping up in the state of Oklahoma. This is drizzle, but there is going to be some pockets of freezing drizzle that develop across central Kansas as we go through the morning into the early afternoon hours. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. All right, so we have light drizzle mainly across from Wichita to Salina, freezing drizzle, Wichita to Topeka, sleet, light snow starting to pick up in Kansas City. Southeast Kansas, southwest Missouri, I think we'll have regular drizzle, so not freezing. Northern counties, again, Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, you may get a little freezing drizzle through the morning. All right, let's go through time. Here we go. Storm system is ramping up. So here's 10 p.m. tomorrow evening. We have snow, mainly Nebraska, and then Kansas City north. I think most of Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City is going to be getting sleet at this time. About 1 inch of sleet is equivalent to 5 inches of snow. So sleet is going to bring your totals down, snow totals. So if you were forecast to get 5 inches of snow, but it comes all sleet, then it's 1 inch of sleet, but still obviously it causes issues. So at this time, rain is picking up northeastern Oklahoma, Coffeyville to Joplin, but again, Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada, getting freezing rain all the way toward Emporia, and then once you get to Topeka and Kansas City, this is sleet, and then it switches back over to snow once you get farther north. Let's continue through time. As we go through the night, look at this system really ramping up. So now we have steady freezing rain just west of Wichita. You got the band of snow really picking up north of I-70, sleet along I-70 and south, and then rain, Coffeyville, Pittsburgh, Joplin, even Springfield, I think rain, Bentonville, Fort Smith, all rain. Let's continue. Let's go into Sunday morning. This storm system really ramping up now. Look at the bands of moderate, heavy snow out through central, western Kansas. Here's our dry slot. See a little twirl or a little spin, Oklahoma City? There's going to be a dry punch of air that shoves up toward Tulsa. And this is going to cut off the precip on Sunday for a good chunk of the area. So dry slot, the storm system, it rotates counterclockwise. So you get dry air that draws into the system. So at this time, Sunday morning, showers and thunderstorms, southeast Kansas, southwestern Missouri, and then that sharp cutoff once you get to about Nevada, Fort Scott, it's all freezing rain. Springfield, you may be getting some freezing rain. And then the northern part of this pink is sleet. So sleet up to Kansas City. And right now, at this point in time, Kansas City will start to transition into snow mode. All right, let's continue through the morning. All right, here's that dry slot. Okay, so now you can see the spin just south of Tulsa. Here's 10:30 in the morning. That dry punch of air is now pushing through Fort Smith, northwest Arkansas, all the way up to Springfield. The rain and the sleet and snow may cut off as far north as Columbia. Kansas City is going to end up in that comma head where it kind of rotates around that dry slot. Joplin, Pittsburgh, Miami, Neosho, we will most likely also go through that dry slot. So I think our rain will cut off mid-morning on Sunday. We'll get several hours of a break, and then that back end of snow is going to rotate through. Significant icing going on central and eastern parts of Missouri, and then you just got your heavy band of snow right through central Kansas. Let's continue. Look at the dry slot. All this moisture cuts off. Here's 3 p.m. Sunday. This is about when I'm going to start cracking a few beers and watching the Chiefs game. Hopefully they beat the Broncos, but I'm also going to be enjoying my snow. We got thunderstorms from Jonesboro to Memphis, eastern parts of Arkansas. Still, you have your freezing rain moving into Illinois. I do want to point out one thing that it does concern me a little bit here. When I say that the precip's going to cut off for 6 hours, there is a possibility, so the persistent precip cuts off. There's a possibility that freezing drizzle sets up here. That means from Joplin to Springfield, we may get around to freezing drizzle Sunday afternoon. That would be terrible because that would put a layer of ice under the snow that's going to move in. Also, something that concerns me a little bit is what we call flash freeze. So we get rain, the roads are wet, that front drops through, temperatures drop 20, 25 degrees in an hour, and anything on the surface freezes. So that's something we got to watch. So at this time, mid-afternoon, you got heavy snow from St. Louis, Columbia, Kansas City's very heavy snow, Lawrence, Topeka, Coffeyville, all picking up very heavy snow. So here's that back band, the comma head that is going to rotate into southeastern Kansas, maybe push as far south as Tulsa, and eventually wrap through northwestern Arkansas. All right, so as we continue through the evening, look at the comma head. It rotates through. So we southeast Kansas, southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma will have at least a 3-hour band of snow, and the temperatures are going to be plummeting. So with that, anything's going to stick. Plus, the winds are going to be very, very strong. This storm system is moving out by Monday morning, but it's going to leave behind quite a mess. All right, let's talk about ice first. Ice potential. So I have the ice line all the way down to Joplin, and that's because I am worried about a little bit of freezing drizzle, especially Sunday, late morning, early afternoon. But overall, ice amounts under 1/10 of an inch. Now, where you get to the blue, so Yates Center, Fort Scott, Nevada, this concerns me a little bit more because it's going to be 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. And with that, with the winds, we may get some branches that come down. And then heavy icing through the Lake of the Ozarks into southeastern parts of Missouri. All right, let's talk snow. Okay, heaviest snow by far is going to be, so Kansas City's in a tricky spot. Really from the city south is going to be in so many hours of sleet, that's going to drop your numbers. So I think Kansas City proper is going to be 5 to 10. But once you get on the north side of the city, so let's say from Liberty, Plattwoods, Berry Road line and north, I think that's where it's going to be majority snow, and 10 to 14 inches is going to fall. Southeast Kansas, Wichita 2 to 5, Yates Center 2 to 5, Iola 2 to 5, Nevada kind of right around that 2 to 5. Once you get into southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, southwest Missouri. So now I'm talking Pittsburgh, Joplin, Miami, Neosho, Carthage. I'm going to say under 2. But I think north of I-44 is going to be 1 to 2. South of I-44 is going to be 1 inch and less. The light snow continues across Missouri, and you can see that band of very heavy snow continues into Illinois. This band's going to stretch all the way through Indiana. I just cut it off right at this point. All right, so another factor to this is going to be the temperature. So you got to remember, we're going to have northerly winds off a very thick snowpack. So with that, temperatures are going to plummet. So on Monday, teens and lower 20s, but by Tuesday morning, look at this, dropping down to -6 Kansas City, -3 in Topeka, down to 13 in Joplin. So it gets much, much colder. All right, guys, so a ton to watch. I'll get you another video tomorrow, but make sure you like and subscribe. Any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section below. We'll chat tomorrow.